So we're here in Quartzsite. I have a friend watching the babies so that I could at least get some video for you guys. But I mean, there's not enough time in the world to videotape all this stuff. But I'll give you a quick glance at what's going on here and stuff. But there's basically all kinds of stuff like this, just all the way down. I don't know if you can see it, but right over there, there's the big tent. I went to the big tent yesterday and honestly, super disappointed. There was a lot of new stuff, but I mean, it was like going to a state fair and having all that stuff there. I thought, see, my vision was that everything in that big tent was going to be RV related, and it wasn't. It was literally like I was at a state fair, and it was just stuff like that, and I wasn't really interested in too much of that. So I did not stay that long. I went down like 1 or 2 aisles, and then I was like, this is not at all what I expected. So we left. Thankfully, Brian from Adventure Van Man was with us, and he really helped me with the kids. Like, man, that guy is awesome. So he helped me a ton. Basically anything that you can think of here is here. They got rocks, they have beads, I mean, they have every kind of fair food that you can imagine, and there are just rows and rows and rows and rows of all this stuff. I have definitely found a lot of things for a really good price here. I bought a new RV water filter for $12 yesterday, like 12 even, and I was pretty psyched about that. So I bought a couple things here, but not much. I don't really have room for anything, nor do I have a desire to buy more things, but it's pretty cool to just even like socialize with all these vendors, see where they're from, see what's going on. They've got some handmade stuff here. I mean, see, just like rows and rows. This literally does not end. The entire town is like this. So if you're really into flea markets, this is what this is be like a dream for you to come here. All kinds of stuff. And I was roaming around the other day, and I mean, on every single corner there was just flea market type stuff, like everywhere. But get here early or get here like after 4, because it gets crazy. I'm here really early actually, and some of these shops are not even open, but I had to do that early because I don't want to fight the crowds or the traffic. So anything you can imagine is going to be here in Quartzsite, and it does not mean that it's RV related, because a lot of these are not. So, and not everyone that comes here is a full-timer like me. So, but lots and lots of stuff here to buy, and I totally recommend coming here, and just browsing is even fun because you'll see stuff you've never seen before. So very cool. You can rent scooters, you can rent ATVs, golf carts. Oh, this is a good stand. I did not see this one the other day. I may have to stop. Oh, I really may have to stop back here and get some of that. So this is what it's like in Quartzsite right now, but lots of really good deals. And the thing is that you really need to look around, because a lot of these guys sell the same things at different prices. So take a look around when you come, and you're gonna want to spend days here. If you don't have kids, days, because I mean, there's just not enough time in a few days to get through all of this stuff, because it is just so crazy. But that is my quick little video for you guys, just so you can see a little bit of what it's like. It is absolute madness around here later in the day. I mean, this road right here, you literally are bumper to bumper. You can't even move. So it's crazy. A lot of people are just, like that guy right there, just using their ATVs to get around because it's so much easier. But yep, this is what it's like. Definitely an experience for sure. And I recommend, especially if you're a full-timer, just to come out and check it out. It's pretty cool. Hey everyone, it's Crystal. So Quartzsite has been a lot of fun slash stress. You know, there's so much to see and so much to just take your time with, but it's really difficult with 2 children all by yourself. So I had to really schedule my time, I guess, for things that I wanted to do. My friend Jeff did not get out to Quartzsite until the day that I was leaving, so I didn't get to do too much there. But for those of you who are wondering how I did the interviews, I interviewed Brian, and then I interviewed Beth, and basically Brian watched the kids while I interviewed Beth, and then Beth watched the kids while I interviewed Brian, because we were all hanging out at one point. So that's how I did that, but I didn't get to interview really anyone else, although there were so many people that I got to talk to and see, but there was really no way getting around the fact that I had no one to watch the children, and so I'm kind of just learning to cope with I might not be able to do interviewing as much as I would like to in the future, unless I have a friend or something with me at times, and that gives me the availability to do that. And even when I was walking around Quartzsite, you know, it was constantly, I wasn't able to look at things because I was carrying one on my back in his carrier, and the other one I was trying to keep a hold of because there was so much stuff to look at. He was just absolutely fascinated. But overall, it was a positive experience, a very positive experience. There were so many RVers there, and waking up in the morning, and even the sunrise and sunset in Quartzsite is just stunning. There really is no other words for it. If you are a follower on my Facebook page, then you definitely got to see some of those sunrises and sunsets, because I was up every single morning when the sun rose, and we were out there when the sun set. We would walk around. It was stunning. So just to be there for that alone was so worth it. We did get there a week before the actual show started, so we got to walk around and check things out, and it wasn't as crowded, but it was still extremely crowded. I was told that the amount of people that are there is just astronomical, and that there are traffic lines going all the way back off the highway just for them to get in, and there were already like 3 days before the big show started, there were already lines off the highway for RVers and just cars coming in. And the one strip that the main show is on, I mean, traffic was bumper to bumper. It was extremely hard to get in and out of there. I didn't go too much because it was just big things like that aren't really my thing, and I guess I wasn't thinking that it was that big when I got to Quartzsite. I was a bit overwhelmed because it was a little bit different than I had pictured. I had pictured Quartzsite being a town, I guess, that had just happened to have an RV show, but it wasn't. It's basically everyone there was an RVer. There was actually very few houses there. It was crazy. The RVs definitely outnumbered in any amount of houses that were in that whole town. And the boondocking kind of threw me off too. Basically, the whole town is BLM. Everywhere in the outskirts of town, you could park. There were RVers scattered everywhere. I mean, in parking lots they were everywhere, in the BLM just scattered everywhere. When we arrived, we got there at night, and I think I got footage of that, so I might pair that with this. I forgot. But we ended up moving, and when we moved our RV, when the sun had come up, we parked I backed in so that I would be able to freely get out whenever, because there was a little bump and I couldn't go around it. But I backed in, and this was at like 8 in the morning, but so many people were already out. I had a few people come up to me and ask me if I needed any help with unhitching and backing up and all that stuff. And I said, no, I don't need any help. Actually, unhitching and backing up and all that stuff is the easiest for me. Hitching up and stuff used to be tricky, but I've definitely got the hang of it now. Anyways, I did all that, and then there was like a group of good like 8 to 10 people of RVers just like kind of scattered and standing around and watching me do this all by myself. They like very quickly noticed that I did not have a guy with me or any other adult with me, and it was just me and the kids. So they just kind of stood there after I told them nicely that I did not need their help, and then after I got unhitched, because the ball got stuck a little bit inside the hitch because the RV was a bit catty corner, so I had to deal with that. And not only that, I had to put the chocks under it because the whole thing was very uneven. So I did that all by myself, and it took like 20 minutes or so. After I was done and unhitched and parked the truck, everyone clapped around me, and it kind of just made me feel good. Like, I've totally got this. It's fine. So that happened, and then my friend Beth, who you guys saw, I interviewed her. She was parked in the vicinity. She was parked a little bit away from me because she has a very tiny trailer, and I just really didn't feel like swooping around where she was. So anyway, anyone around me was very nice anyways, so it wasn't a big deal. I was a bit nervous at first because camping around a whole bunch of strangers and boondocking, you know, and not really having anyone kind of keep an eye on my trailer kind of thing, did not make me feel comfortable. But after being there and just talking to some of the people around me, I was extremely comfortable. Everyone was so nice, and a lot of them were full-timers, and a lot of the people in my area were in clubs, like Freightliner Club and the SOTF Club, and all kinds of just clubs everywhere. But it was cool. It was cool to get to talk to people. I was so sad that I couldn't interview the interesting people that I did get to meet, but it was very nice to just make acquaintances and stuff like that. When we were in town, I did get to go to the show, and I did get to walk around and actually look at stuff. Brian, Adventure Van Man, I'm telling you, this guy is super nice. He camped by me for 2 nights, and then my friend Jeff came the next night, but he made me feel really comfortable in taking the kids out. And man, that guy is such a trooper, because my kids are a serious handful. You know, they even stress me out at times. So for a complete stranger to help me out and take them to a big show where they just act crazy sometimes, was really nice of him. So me and Brian and the kids ended up going to the big tent and walking around, and we like looked at a couple of RVs just for fun, and then we got some food. But like, it was really nice to be able to do that, because I don't think without him I would not have been able to do that, nor even really look at stuff as much. So Brian, if you're watching this, thank you. I know I've already thanked you over the phone and stuff, but it was really nice. He definitely stepped up a little bit more than I had expected, you know, installing the fantastic fan, and then just helping me with the kids in general, and sticking by us for a couple nights was really nice of him. But anyways, what I recommend it to people? Absolutely. Go to Quartzsite, boondock. Don't go to a campground. Experience boondocking, because the boondockers that are going to be around you are fascinating. Everyone has a story, and it's so awesome to just hear them. And most of the people, like if you're younger like me, most of them are going to be older, so they really have some stories, and it's just great, you know, after the kids are asleep, for me to just go out and, like, you know, talk to my neighbors. That was a really good experience for me. The shows, I mean, basically, Quartzsite is like one giant flea market. There's, oh my gosh, there's stuff everywhere. Anywhere you could possibly look, on every street, there's just stuff for sale. There are a lot of drifters that come by too, so I mean, if you're one of those who like to help people out, there's your chance to not only help people out and do a good thing, but you get to buy a bunch of stuff that no one really needs but looks cool, kind of thing. I did meet up with a few of you viewers who told me that you were going to be there, and some of you who told me you were going to be there, we didn't meet up because you were going to be there after I left. And then some of you, we just couldn't meet up because our times didn't mesh well with me and the kids and such. So I do apologize for that. I did want to meet as many people as possible, but I was only flexible to an extent, and I didn't feel comfortable really letting viewers come out to where I was because I didn't know them personally. So you know, maybe if we're on the road in more of a very public area, I'm totally down to meet. But I did meet up with a few of you guys, and one in specific, actually, his name is Tom. I recognize his Facebook picture, or not Facebook, actually I think he is on my Facebook too, his YouTube picture of Tom, I forgot his last name, looks I mean, it's like him walking out of the picture. When he walked out of the car, I was like, oh my gosh, I recognize you immediately. But he ended up giving me a portable black tank, and it is such a blessing when you're boondocking not have to hook up your trailer and then leave and go dump. So he gave me a black tank, and then I looked around Quartzsite for a generator, because the first 2 days I really tried to just deal without a generator and use things as little as possible, kind of thing, and use battery operated like lights and things like that. But my 12 volts I could tell they were going down a little bit, because I didn't check the voltage, but the lights were dimming a little, and that was an automatic not good. So I looked around Quartzsite for a generator. They were all incredibly expensive. And the used ones that were a decent price were like, it was far too heavy for me to even carry by myself. You know, I'm a single RVer with 2 little kids, and my 4-year-old tries so hard to help me a lot, but I can't make him help me pick up like a 100-pound generator or something. So I ended up asking someone who was selling fried bread or something if they knew anyone in Quartzsite who had a decent priced generator, and she was like, you know, my husband and I just bought a brand new generator for our cotton candy machine, and it didn't have enough watts to hold it to keep the cotton candy machine running. And she's like, it's a 4,000 watt Jenny, and we just bought it. They bought it in Vegas, and they were gonna have to return it, and she had it in her truck, and she showed it to me. They only used it once, and it was full already of oil and gas, and I asked her how much she wanted for it, and she said $200. And so she basically sold me a brand new generator that had only been used once for $200. And it's a 4,000 watt, so we had used that the whole time, and I still have it. Actually, it is right here. This is the generator that I got, and I used it every single day when I was there. And this is the portable black tank that Tom gave me. He's a viewer. So, and he was such a great guy, like super awesome guy. I might actually meet up with him while I'm in California, because I'll be in California and he lives in California, so we'll see about that. But anyways, overall a very good experience. Go and experience it, especially if you're a full-timer. If you're a single parent like me and you have 2 little ones as small as mine, it might not be nearly as fun, but if you have help, then it's, I mean, even like a friend or another RVer that you know, then it's definitely worth going, just for the experience. They do have a park there, and actually a large park, and they have a skate ramp, and they have like 2 airplanes in the park, and it's a really nice park. So if you have children, don't feel like you're in a town strictly for older people or retired people, because that was actually tons of fun for my kids, and they had fun for an entire day there at the park. So still stuff to do. The Walmart there is about, I want to say like 28 miles away or so. We only went once, and while we were there the whole time, and that was just to get some food right quick, and that was about it. So it was a nice drive. It was a very pretty drive, and it was very busy. It was all country road, but the entire road was busy. I mean, if you broke down on that road, I have no doubt that you would have someone help you, because it was so busy during that time. I did hear in the summer though that Quartzsite is basically like deserted, like a ghost town, which I didn't know, because this town was just so incredibly busy when I was there. It was just slightly overwhelming. I did stay on the further outside of town, heading east, and it was just, people were so spread out. It was so nice, so nice. Boondocking is definitely my friend, especially now that I have a generator, and can do the boondocking with the portable black tank. I feel way more comfortable doing boondocking now. That was the longest time I had ever boondocked anywhere, so it was nice, and I definitely plan on doing it a lot more. So check out Quartzsite. If you didn't make it this year, definitely check it out next year. So thanks for watching.